From Nova Scotia, I'm joined by Chris Fogarty. He's a meteorologist at the Canadian Hurricane Center. Good morning. Nice to see you. So, Debby made landfall in Florida yesterday as a Category 1 storm and then was downgraded. How powerful is this storm still? What are its main characteristics?
Yeah, it's a Category 1 storm. When it hit Florida, it's now considered a tropical storm, which is below hurricane status. The thing with this storm, it's, as you mentioned, it's quite large and there's a lot of moisture, a lot of rain with it. And it's, as you saw from that track map, it goes out back over the water a little bit and then slowly moves back into the Carolina. So this is a big problem when it comes to flooding risk.
How much rain are we talking about?
It looks like they could have 2 feet to 24 inches
Oh.
of rain, so over 250 millimeters in parts of the Carolinas, but in particular South Carolina that you see on the radar animation there. Big concerns in that area.
Okay, so we're just looking right now at pictures of its projected path. Can you kind of walk us through what we're expecting right through until the weekend?
Yeah, so it's once we get, latter part of the week into the weekend, things get more complicated with these storms as they usually do because it's no longer a hurricane when it gets moving up into New England. It will start to merge with a front, a non-tropical front over Ontario. So right now we're concerned with easternmost Ontario, southern Quebec, and then the Maritimes. Not for several days yet, though. It looks like a weekend thing, but the rainfall threat is what we're mostly concerned about.
And again, how much rain are we talking about by the time it gets to Canada?
So, looking at a lot of the computer models, we see some of them that show well over 100 millimeters. So
Wow.
that would be, problematic. Some are much less than that. So the thing to be aware of right now is, of course, we've seen a lot of flooding this summer already from thunderstorms, like in Toronto, Nova Scotia as well had a lot of flooding. So that's a big issue because the ground's capacity to hold water is much less now. So we'll be watching it pretty closely, especially given that.
Okay, and before you go, and while I have you, can you give us some idea around your expectations of this hurricane season, Chris?
Yeah, so we had a quiet period during July, as we noticed. Beryl was an early storm out of the gate. Quiet for a while. August almost guaranteed to be active. We're seeing another area south of Debbie that's probably going to develop into something. And all the projections are still on track for an active season in general. Whether they make it to Canada is another story, but we'll be busy watching what's left. Yeah.
No doubt. Thanks so much for being with us. Chris Fogarty is a meteorologist at the Canadian Hurricane Center.